Zach Zimmer. Think of a time when you were in a meeting, a classroom, or a discussion with someone that you cared about. Now imagine listening to what is going on. I bet everyone can recall at least one time that the other person was talking, and once they were finished, you couldn't remember what they said. This is the result of poor listening, which can cause a wide range of problems, especially if not corrected. I have difficulty listening on a daily basis, and sometimes it can come at a high price. Today, I will be speaking to you about how poor listening is at the center of many problems, including consequences of poor listening in close relationships, consequences of poor listening in a work setting, and why listening should be taught in schools and at workplaces. First, we should start by understanding the effects poor listening has on close relationships. Consequences of poor listening in close relationships. According to Whitburn, active listening is only one part to becoming an empathetic listener. Active empathetic listening shows that you understand what is going on inside the mind of the speaker as if you were that person. Not listening to people you are close with may leave them feeling like you don't care. If you fade in and out when somebody is talking about a personal matter, you may give off the impression that you don't care about what they are talking about. Imagine how you would feel if you were expressing yourself to someone that you cared about a personal matter, and they couldn't remember what you said after you were done speaking. Emotions can get in the way of good listening. According to Stevens, when emotions make listening too easy, it is usually the result of hearing something that supports the deep inner feeling that we have. When we hear this support, our mental barriers are dropped and all information is welcomed. Our critical thinking skills are suddenly put out of commission by our emotions. The consequences of poor listening have effects in the work setting that are similar to those in personal relationships. There are also some distinctive differences. Consequences of poor listening in a work setting. Good listening is something that is especially vital in the workplace. According to Brenner, lack of innovation can start to take hold in a workplace where listening is not prioritized and done well. Imagine being in a meeting where only half the people are truly comprehending what is going on. This can be cause for slow progress. Companies lose hundreds of thousands of dollars every day due to poor listening. According to Babinski, poor listening leads to assumptions and misunderstandings, which can lead to ineffective decisions and costly mistakes. There's lots of money lost because of poor listening habits. 400 corporations lost $37 billion as a result of communication breakdowns. There are various barriers that can get in the way of listening while at work. According to Floyd, people take in huge amounts of information every day. A problem that can arise from all this is called information overload. Information overload is when we find it difficult to take in new information due to the sheer amount of information that we take in on a daily basis. A different problem that commonly happens is called pseudo-listening. This is when we consciously or unconsciously pretend to pay attention. We use feedback behaviors that make it seem as though we are paying attention when our minds are actually wandering elsewhere. So if you are getting an employee review and your job is giving you high points but also some low points about your performance, you might only listen to the high points, but then once he starts talking about things you can improve on, you might start to kind of fade out and not listen to what he has to say, and then you don't improve on anything because you only listen to the good things that you're doing. We should talk now about how higher quality listening should be something that is taken more seriously and people should be more educated on. Why listening should be taught in schools and informal work settings. Having a company implement listening improvement courses has various benefits. According to Stevens, poor listening can give people in business fear of oral communication Therefore, they tend to think more things need to be written down than what actually do. There is a lack of listening skills taught in schools. Most schools focus more on reading, thinking of it as being the primary learning media. Little attention is given to the skill of speaking, and less attention is placed on the skill of listening. According to Stevens, we assume that listening largely depends on intelligence. Intelligence does play a role in listening, but it is much smaller and insignificant than people believe. To be a good listener, we need to take skills learned in the past and apply them to the present. Most people assume learning to read will automatically teach someone how to listen, but research has shown that listening and reading skills do not improve at the same rate when only reading is taught. As you can see, there are several different consequences to poor listening, caused by several different roots. However, it is never too late to improve your listening skills. Hearing is not the same as listening. While hearing is a sense, listening is something more complex with different pieces. Improving your listening skills is something that we can all strive to do. You will find that the benefits very much outweigh the downfalls. I hope that you all try to improve your listening abilities in the near future. You will find it is very helpful in almost every aspect of your life. All right, thank you.